name is Andie Sue, and I'm a USCF para-dressage rider for the USA para-dressage program. I began riding when I was 5 years old and began my para-dressage journey in 2020 when a generous sponsor lent me their horse to ride at a national competition in Tryon, North Carolina. While I competed there, I truly fell in love with the para-dressage program and all it has to offer for athletes like me. There are many different disabilities represented in para-dressage. Each of the athletes are distinguished by grade. As an amputee, I'm a grade 5, which means least disabled, with grade 1 being the most disabled. Our dressage tests vary according to grade, with the highest test being the Para Grand Prix test. The United States Para-Equestrian Association created a framework to help support athletes and their journey forward in their para-dressage path. I hope some of this information helps you decide if you qualify to be a para-dressage athlete and how to meet your goals. The United States Para-Equestrian Association, or USPEA's mission is to help develop, promote, support, and sustain the United States para-dressage emerging, developing, and elite athletes, with a focus on the pathway for emerging athletes. The first step is to determine if your disability fits the requirement for participation. Athletes must have an eligible permanent physical impairment or visual impairment to be considered for this program. You will then have a dispensation certificate that outlines your specific disability and what compensating aids you are allowed to use in competition. You must present this dispensation at each recognized competition, regardless of whether you're riding your para test or able-bodied test. You can contact USPEA at uspea.org to find out if you can qualify, as well as request an official classification through the USEF Para-Equestrian Director. If you are new to the equestrian sport, you need to find a coach that can help you get started with a strong foundation for your riding. Your coach does not have to have any special training, but must be somebody that you can have a good relationship with and is willing to work with you closely and to your specific needs. There are barns that are designated centers of excellence and ones that are PATH International Centers. And some instructors are certified para-dressage coaches. USPEA.org can let you know if there are any of these resources that are near you. You should set your sights on showing locally first with a horse that you can trust. Then, as your confidence builds, look for recognized shows at larger venues where you can test your ability to ride your para tests. You don't have to limit yourself to para tests though. Depending on your grade, there are able-bodied tests that you're encouraged to ride, which will help set you up for success in the national and international show venues, if that is your ultimate goal. Don't rush these steps. It's really important to get a good, solid show foundation. Take advantage of as many learning opportunities as you can by finding a local pony club and beginning to explore the Rider Awards programs. As I mentioned before, I'm an amputee. I have been able to earn my United States Pony Club certifications up to the B level in dressage, as well as horse management, and my C2 level in eventing, as well as Western riding. I have also earned my USDF bronze and silver medals for my scores up to Pre-St. George. We all know that showing can be expensive. Well, everything with horses is expensive. One of the best ways you can get constructive feedback is through the virtual judging program. This program is a great way to gauge your progress in the para test as a new athlete, or if you have a new horse, or just see how you're doing after continuing work on your familiar mount. The virtual judging program is simple. Have a friend videotape you from C and send a YouTube link to the email on the USPEA.org website. For a small fee, your test will be reviewed, scored, and returned to you with feedback from the judge. You do not have to be officially classified prior to submitting a para test, but you will need to review the rules for submission found on the USPEA.org website for arena size, what to wear, and other details before you film. If you have already been officially classified, these videos can actually count toward official consideration for the USCF Emerging Athletes List. You may qualify for the Emerging Athletes List by competing in recognized shows, earning minimum scores on the tests you perform. An application for the USCF Emerging Athletes List, Developing Athletes List, and Elite Athletes List with a description of the qualifications needed can be found on the USPEA.org site. There are 3 grants that are very helpful for offsetting some of the costs involved in getting started. These are the Hope Hand Memorial Grant, the Jonathan Wentz Memorial Grant, and the Meg Mullen Memorial Grant. To qualify for these grants, you must be at least 16 years old and have a current USCF National or FEI International classification. For more information about these amazing grants and their specific criteria for qualifying, go to the USPEA.org website to see more. I am so grateful that when I was a new athlete, I was the recipient of the Jonathan Wentz Memorial Grant, specifically speaking, his Emerging Athlete National Show Grant. This grant was established to continue the dream of the Paralympian Jonathan Wentz, which was to advance para-dressage in the USA by supporting and encouraging para-dressage youth, adult, and veteran athletes to set the goal of national and international competition. At age 13, Jonathan set his sights on riding for the US Paralympics. In 2012, at the age of 21, Jonathan was able to achieve that dream and rode in the 2012 London Paralympics for Team USA, earning the highest placing of all US equestrians who competed in London. Unfortunately, Jonathan passed at the age of 21 in 2012. Jonathan saw a need to develop a pathway for para-dressage emerging athletes in order to help grow and improve para-dressage in the USA. These grants are a way to continue his goal. The Jonathan Wentz Memorial Grant is comprised of 2 grants, the Emerging Athlete National Show Grant and the Initial Classification Travel Grant. The Emerging Athlete National Show Grant is used to offset the expense of participating in a national dressage show in an FEI para-dressage test of choice class. The initial classification travel grant is a grant to help offset travel and lodging expenses to attend their first classification. I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Meg Mullen. She was the paradressage team vet and took great pride in her work. She is very missed in the paradressage community. This grant was established to honor the work and the kindness she practiced at each para-equestrian event. The initial FEI Equine Passport Grant offers to offset expenses of the athlete's horse's initial passport expenses. It was an honor to have known Hope Hand. She was the engine of USPEA and a leader in creating educational opportunities for para-equestrian athletes. USPEA's Hope Hand Memorial Grants are to continue the dream and goals of the founder of USPEA, Hope Hand. She founded USPEA with the goal to educate, recruit, grow, and promote U.S. para-equestrian sports from grassroots all the way up to elites. In celebration of her life and mission, these grants are to focus on educating and helping U.S. paradressage long into the future. The Hope Hand Memorial Grant is made of two grants, the Domestic CPEDI One-Star Equine Travel Grant and the USEF Festival of Champions Equine Travel Grant. The Domestic CPEDI One-Star Travel Grant is used to help athletes with the cost of transporting their horses to a US CPEDI One-Star event. The USEF Festival of Champions Equine Travel Grant is offered to emerging athletes to offset horse transportation expenses for those transporting their horse or horses to the USEF Festival of Champions. The last topic is one that I want to truly emphasize. It is about finding your team. This would be your coach, your groom, and your personal assistant, and surrounding yourself with other equestrians who are positive and uplifting. It is important to find your individual team, and as the cliche saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work, and it couldn't be more true. International showing or just showing in general is very busy and complicated sometimes, but having a group and a team to come together and help you is always so beneficial. Your team will help support and inspire you as you delve into this wonderful journey. I hope that you have gained knowledge about the paradressage community, and I wish you the best of luck on this wonderful ride you're about to embark on.